Today we're going to talk about the Rapid Blaster and the Rapid Blaster Pro in Salmon Run. In this series I break down weapons and how to use them in Salmon Run. The videos are short and they don't cover absolutely everything about a weapon. I just aim to make you feel a little bit more knowledgeable when playing Salmon Run. Just before we start, because there are very minor differences between these two, I've opted to cover them together as the advice about how to use them will be almost identical. The times that they differ will be explicitly mentioned. Number 1. The Rapid and the Rapid Pro are both middleweight blasters that fire faster and longer than any other weapons in their class. The trade-off is that their shots are on the weaker side and their area of effect is much smaller in comparison to other blasters. Number 2. The differences between the Rapid Blaster and the Rapid Blaster Pro lay in their damage values and ink usage. The Rapid Blaster does 140 damage per direct shot, with the indirects doing 60. For the Rapid Blaster Pro, it does 150 damage per direct shot, with the indirects doing 75 damage. As well as slightly more damage per shot, the Rapid Pro's ink usage is slightly higher too compared to the Rapid Blaster, meaning the Rapid Blaster has a few more shots in its tank compared to the Pro. For all intents and purposes, your Rapid Blasters are functionally the same, and the times that their differences are noticeable are few and far between. Like all other blasters, ink consumption and recovery can be punishing, especially if there's little paint. Blasters don't paint particularly well, so your focus should be on how to work with the paint you have, rather than trying to achieve the task of painting. In addition, whilst your ink recovery isn't the fastest, you should be able to juggle bomb throwing whilst using these weapons. Bombs can prove very helpful for stacking damage against heftier enemies and clearing areas at your feet. Number 3. Because of its slightly higher damage, the Rapid Pro has a slight edge over the regular Rapid, however the differences are minimal. The most obvious difference is when dealing with steelheads. The Rapid Pro can easily two-shot them with direct hits, whereas the Rapid Blaster will just miss out on this, being only able to hit for 280 damage against the steelhead's bomb, which has 300 HP. It is possible to one-cycle steelheads with the Rapid by anticipating its attack and getting partial damage on it before 2 direct hits, but this requires practice. The most important takeaway should be that with the range of both Rapids, steelheads should be a priority. The other priorities are stingers and fish sticks. Both Rapids make quick work of these bosses and are able to hit them from many different angles that don't leave you vulnerable. I would actually argue that prioritising fish sticks is the most important thing here due to how easy and quickly you can defeat them, so don't neglect them. All other bosses will require different levels of strategy to manage. At 140 and 150 per direct shots, things like Drizzlers and Big Shots take ages to defeat. You'll always want to shoot back torpedoes as much as you can. This is where you want to make sure you want to tag up with a teammate or two to help with damage, or if things look particularly messy, then deploying specials to get bosses slayed quicker. In addition, using bombs is a must, not just because of the obvious enemies, but because it creates turf around you and space at your feet to move and shoot easier. The Rapid Blasters aren't weapons you can charge in with. You're better off standing slightly back or slightly higher and using range, AoE and different strategies to your benefit. Number 4. For both variants, you'll want to use the weapon's AoE to your advantage. This is something that is integral to getting the most out of them. You don't play blasters like shooters. You use timed explosions to damage as much as you can. The indirects on both Rapids is enough to take out small fry. Worth remembering when you're aiming at grillers or groups of lessers. This is also applicable to the chum during rush waves. They have reduced health at 50 HP, meaning your AoE takes out multiple at a time. You don't have a big AoE with the Rapids, especially when compared to all other blasters, but you're able to fire faster than most of them and you completely outrange them too. The range, in conjunction with the AoE, can allow you to take positions that maintain safety, but still allow constant firing and slaying of enemies. Number 5. A few months ago, I started using the Rapid Blaster Deco in PvP. Now, I'm not going to act like I know how to use this weapon in PvP, but using it there taught me a few things for Salmon Run. I also sought out advice from other blaster players and was told that using a Rapid in PvP involves a certain amount of rubber banding. This is a process in which you snap yourself like a rubber band to your teammates to help follow up in fights, clear areas, and hit angles your teammates might not be able to help support them. Learning this changed the way I played Rapid Blasters immediately, and this transferred straight over to Salmon Run. Your weapon lacks power and isn't the best out-and-out slayer. You'll struggle when you're on your own against too many enemies or if you don't create enough space between yourself and them. Becoming overwhelmed with the Rapid Blasters is easy enough, so think about how you can avoid this. Create space. Abuse the range of the Rapids and exploit the AoE to help with blast damage. Don't go into huge fights alone, and don't try to solo bosses with high HP that you'll struggle with. Snap to your teammates and help clear areas to protect them when they're fighting bosses. Snap to your teammates when they're going out for stingers and help them do this job quicker, and snap to your teammates to help create space and suppress enemies when they look like they're struggling and need backup. The Rapid Blasters are some of the best supportive weapons to have in almost any comp in Salmon Run, and I would wholeheartedly recommend to stop trying to use them the way you want them to work. Accept their limitations and use them supportively within your team. Help yourself by helping your teammates and go fight alongside them. I hope this helps you appreciate both of the Rapid Blasters a little bit more. Let me know what you think. Also, PS, thank you so much for the ongoing support. I'll see you guys soon.